Hello everyone. I'm here because we are coming to the very end of Hanukkah for 2020. You may remember that Hanukkah is an 8-day celebration of light and the blessings of God. It is celebrated by those of the Jewish faith, but honored by all of us. And I want to read you a story about a family who moves right before Hanukkah starts, and on the nights of Hanukkah they can't find their box with the things they need to celebrate. So before I read that, I want to make sure that you know some of the things they use to celebrate. For example, it is a festival of lights, so they have a special candle holder called the menorah, and on each night of Hanukkah they light a candle. So there are 8 candles, and then this one is the service candle, the shamas, and it is used to light the other candles. So when they do that, they say a blessing in Hebrew. It starts with Baruch Atah Adonai. And you can learn that prayer if you want to. It's longer than that. This would be lit on the first night of Hanukkah. And prayers would be said and special activities like, for example, they might play with the dreidel. Excuse me. This is a wooden top, and it is it's used to play a game. The children play a game with it now. On the second night, they light 2 candles. And the third night, they light 3 candles. And on the 4th night, they light all 4. The 5th night, they light 5 candles. And the 6th night, they light all 6 candles. Just like at Advent we have candles, Hanukkah has these candles. 7 candles on the 7th night, and on the last night, all 8 of the candles are lit. And remember the service candles, shamas. That's part of our story. Now, other things that you'll need to know about to make sense of the story and understand it better, besides the dreidel, are the coins that were used to play the dreidel game. So each of these symbols means something, like get coins, give coins, lose coins, and many, many years ago it was played with real coins. But today it is played with gold, chocolate-covered coins. So inside each of these is a little piece of chocolate. The children like to play the game and eat the chocolate, right? It's called gelt. And so you'll see the children want to play that. Another thing that is a tradition is the food. There are traditional foods, and one of the most popular are latkes, which are like potato pancakes, a little like hash browns, and fried in oil. And those are something the children look forward to as well. Gift giving, there's also gift giving. The children love that, of course. And I think that gives you enough information to to understand the story. So with that, let's read about this family and their unusual Hanukkah celebration. Welcome back. Here's the book I want to read you called The Ninth Night of Hanukkah. It's by Erica Pearl and illustrated by Shahar Colbert. Now, we just said that there were 8 nights of Hanukkah. So we already know there's going to be something a little unusual about this Hanukkah. Here they are. You know, when you move, you have lots of boxes. And here comes Dad with a pizza. On the first night of Hanukkah, Mom couldn't find the menorah. Special delivery, said Dad, arriving with pizza. Max and Rachel looked at each other. No menorah? No latkes? Oh, it's just for tonight, said Mom. I'm sure we'll find our Hanukkah things tomorrow. Exhausted from unpacking, the family sat down to dinner in their new apartment. It was nice, but it didn't feel quite like Hanukkah. On the second night, the missing menorah still hadn't turned up. Should we go to the store? Asked Max. No, we'll find it soon, said Rachel. Besides, I have an idea for tonight. Can you tell what they're doing? Rachel made a beautiful menorah, and Max helped her decorate it. But when it came time to light the candles, Mom realized that she had packed those with the menorah. Now should we go to the store? Asked Max. Mom checked her watch and shook her head. Everything's probably closed by now. Max and Rachel convinced Mom to let them ask a neighbor. They knocked on 2C right next door and explained the situation to Mrs. Mendez. Would these work? She asked. I don't know if you can see that, but she's handing them a box of birthday candles. Maybe, said Rachel. You know, the kind you put on your cake. Dad lit the shamash. Max and Rachel used it, each to light a candle. And then, see, it's the second night here. And then, the kids got presents. It was nice, but it didn't feel quite like Hanukkah. On the third night, Dad offered to make latkes. He just needed to find his lucky latke pan. As he searched through box after box, Max followed his nose downstairs to 1B, where he met Joe, the super. Welcome to the building, said Joe. Need anything? You let me know. Anything? Asked Max, eyeing the steaming platter of, looks like French fries. French fries are made of potatoes. Joe happily shared. It was nice. It didn't feel quite like Hanukkah. On the fourth night, Max said, let's play dreidel. One problem, no dreidel. I'm beginning to think one of our boxes got lost, said Dad. So Mom called the moving company, and Max and Rachel set out to find a dreidel. The Watson twins, who lived upstairs in 3B, didn't have one, but they did have a toy that could spin and spin, kind of like a dreidel. It was nice, but it didn't feel quite like Hanukkah. On the 5th night, Max and Rachel figured out a way to play dreidel. See, they made it. Which means they needed gelt. Remember the coins, the chocolate-covered coins? So they went looking. No chocolate coins, but I do have these. Can you see what they are? Chocolate chips in a bag. The kind you make chocolate chip cookies out of. It was nice, but it didn't feel quite like Hanukkah. On the 6th night, Rachel wanted to have a Hanukkah sing-along. But Mom's guitar hadn't arrived yet. Gigi has one, shouted the Watson twins, running up to 5C. It turned out they were almost right. Mom taught Gigi the chords to Rock of Ages, and everyone sang. It was nice, but it didn't feel quite like Hanukkah. On the 7th night, Max and Rachel discovered they were missing something else. How do you wrap a present without wrapping paper? On their way outside, they saw Dr. Lee reading in the lobby. When they asked him where to buy wrapping paper, he handed them the comics. Try using these, suggested Dr. Lee. So they did. It was nice, but it still didn't feel quite like Hanukkah. On the 8th night, Max realized what their Hanukkah needed was jelly donuts. It took knocking on several doors, but finally Max got his jelly from the twins in 3B. Just not in donut form. Looks like a jelly sandwich. Max took a big bite. That was nice, said Rachel. But it doesn't feel quite like Hanukkah, said Max. The next morning, there was a knock on the door. Special delivery. Only this time it wasn't Dad or pizza. And it wasn't the long-lost box. Let's have a Hanukkah sing-along tonight, suggested Mom. Well, last night was the 8th night, Rachel reminded her. It won't be Hanukkah anymore. Well, maybe it should be, said Max. 9 candles, 9 nights. Rachel's eyes lit up. She whispered to Max. Max whispered back, and together they developed a plan. With a box of candles and a box of crayons, they set in motion. That evening, Max and Rachel waited and waited Maybe this isn't going to work, said Max. Oh, it'll work, said Rachel, sounding more confident than she felt. Just then there was a knock on the door. And another. And another. See all the friends they've been meeting at their new place? All these people that helped them with the things they didn't have? Max and Rachel thanked them all for coming. Then they explained the reason for their Shamash Flight 8 celebration. For 8 nights of Hanukkah, the Shamash helps light all the other candles, said Max, like all of you helped us. So we wanted to say thanks to the Shamash and to you. And just then, a voice called out from the back of the line of guests, "Special delivery!" "The missing box," said Mom. "Well, that's what I call a miracle," said Dad. And in the box, Max and Rachel found their family menorah, their Hanukkah candles, Dad's lucky latke pan, dreidels and gelt, and Aunt Edith's recipe for some jelly donuts. So on the 9th night in their new home, Max and Rachel and their new friends talked and laughed and ate and played games and sang and danced by the light of many candles. It was nice. It was really, really nice. And best of all, it felt exactly like Hanukkah. And that's the end. I hope you enjoyed this story, and I wish you a happy Hanukkah, a happy holiday, a happy season. This season of light, this season of kindness and joy. God bless us, everyone.